And welcome back to the world of TikTok. Let's get started.
Amazon is receiving massive backlash right now for selling spy cameras in clothes hooks. It won't attract attention, a very ordinary hook. It says as a towel hangs from it. And the more that I looked into this, the crazier it became. Somehow, not only can you buy a spy camera clothes hook, which includes a picture demonstrating it being used in a bloody bathroom, but there are also spy camera alarm clocks with a wildly suggestive front image of two people being recorded in bed, spy camera smoke detectors, which included a hotel room as a suggested place of use, and even a spy camera USB charger that has an image of it pointed at two individuals in a romantic setting. Catching people cheating is a repeated theme in these. There's pens, speakers, car keys, shower gel bottles. No object is safe. Now, Amazon has been sued in the past for one of these devices, and even tried, unsuccessfully, to dismiss the case, saying that it wasn't responsible for how the cameras were being used. So the question is, do you think Amazon should be allowed to sell these kinds of products or not?
And the answer is absolutely not. What are they selling this for? They could sell anything. What do they need to sell this for? This is something that somebody in the government would probably use, maybe the CIA or something like that. I don't understand why ordinary civilians need this. And it's funny how Amazon doesn't want to take responsibility, but at the same time, when they sell it, they suggest, the product, they're selling a product that suggests, you could use this in a hotel room. Speaking of hotel rooms, how creepy would it be if somebody stays in the hotel room before you and they plant all this stuff and then they spy on you? That's an invasion of privacy. Okay? I understand there are cheating spouses out there. Okay? But there needs to be another way to follow the paper trail. And this is not ethical. This is not right. So I don't think they should be able to sell it. But that's just my 2 cents.
Listen to this prediction by Paul Harvey from 1965 of what the world would be like today and tell me it's not spot on.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. and thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
Paul Harvey. Good day.
Wow. What a prediction. First of all, I think it's hilarious that I'm reacting to a video that another guy's reacting to a video. But yeah, the greatest trick that the devil did is to convince the world that he doesn't exist. And, you know, I'm sure that there were many others that also made predictions like this. And as a society, we are falling asleep at the wheel. I'm sure there's a handful of people that are aware of this, but not enough. And even if they are aware of this, what are they doing about it? You know, what can they do? Everybody's busy with their everyday lives, you know, so people just fall asleep at the wheel, unfortunately. But I made quick notes of some of the things that I got out of this. Gambling, right? Gambling's a big problem. They want to put that into Times Square now, I heard. They're trying to allow gambling in more places. Now it's available on our smartphones. They're advertising apps all the time, and gambling ruins lives. Gambling ruins the household. Okay, drugs. We have a drug problem with fentanyl and everything like that. The media, right? I don't care if you listen to the left or the right. The media stirs the pot for ratings and profit. Marriage. The youth is, you know, not getting married as often as they used to. And in major cities, they'd much rather, sleep around and have a good time instead of considering marriage. Not a lot of people are getting married. And patriotism and hard work. You know, there are a lot of young people, they're not patriotic, and they frown upon the American flag. They don't understand what they have, and they don't understand what they're against. If something, God forbid, happens to the United States and the free world, they'll be sorry, and it'll be too late. You know, it's like if I can use an example of what's happening in this world, it's like a child with two parents. Let's say the child has a good parent and the bad parent. Now, the good parent wants what's best for the child, and the bad parent cares more about the child's opinion of them, and they want to win that child over. So in result, they'll allow the child to do whatever they want, eat whatever they want, go to sleep whenever they want, just to win the approval of the child. And the child will ironically hate the good parent. The good parent that wants what's best and has law and order in the household, has rules and restrictions. And this is what it feels like is happening with our youth against the country. Is the United States perfect? No, absolutely not. But we're arguably the best country in the world.
So in China, for example, this is going to happen here, I think, too, although maybe people will fight it. If a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, the digital ID system has you. It has your blood now. It has your genetic code. It has your photograph. It can identify how you walk, so even if you can't see a face, you can be picked up by gait. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score. And if your social credit score falls below a certain level, then you can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train. You can't get out of your 15-minute city. All that's already in place in China. I think it would bring in, and has already in China, I think it'll bring in a totalitarian tyranny so 100% complete that it would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a picnic.
Talk about Black Mirror. This is what he was talking about is literally an episode of Black Mirror. Okay, and the Black Mirror episode was tough to watch. It was very disturbing, but the way Jordan Peterson talks about this is worse. And this will come to us in the free world. And the reason why I'm saying it will is because it already came to China. All right. And it's all about control. The technology will enslave the human race. It's like, here you go. You're a good boy. Now you could play your little video games as long as you behave. This is what it's about. To control society, to enslave the human race. And what can we do about it? We can't really do anything, right? Because nothing's actually happening yet. But it can happen out of nowhere. It'll be subtle. We won't even see it coming. And, if and when this will happen, it'll happen in the name of safety. And by the time we realize what's going on, it'll be too late. Because once they have that power and control, they're not giving it up. So I guess what the best we can do is to stay vigilant and not fall asleep at the wheel as a society. And that's it. What else can we do?